A very good morning to all the students of class 11th political science, and students, welcome back to the online classes here. As you know, we were into the 5th chapter of our book, and that is about the legislature we were studying. And in that we had already finished our two parts. In that we had covered topics related to parliament and about the two houses of the parliament. We read about why do we need parliament, and then we read why do we need two houses of parliament, what is the relevance and what is the importance of having bicameral legislature. So in that we tried and understand the meaning of unicameral and bicameral legislature in relation to both parliament as well as state legislative assemblies. Okay, after that we in detail we had studied the functions and composition of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha as well, and today's topic will be in relation to the functions and powers of the parliament. Okay, and this will be the part 3rd of your chapter number 5. But before I start this particular topic, what does the parliament do, or what are the functions of parliament we can say, or what are the powers of the parliament? In this you need to remember in class 8 you must have studied about parliament, and there is a chart like what are the parts of parliament. Number 1 comes president. Here Lok Sabha, and number 3 Rajya Sabha. So it means president, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, all these constitute to form our parliament, and we have already understood what are the basic and most important two functions of parliament. Number 1 is law making, and number 2 is accountability. Accountability means executive is accountable to legislature, how they are functioning, what powers and what activities they are doing. This is all accountable to the people through the legislature. So here legislature plays an important role for it shows the accountability of executive to the people who have elected the members. So this is the structure of parliament. But here we shall be studying what does the parliament do, what are the powers and functions of the parliament. So as I told you, parliament constitute all these three, and government is an important element if you talk about the parliament. And there are three important organs of government, and those are legislature, executive and judiciary. About executive we have already read the whole chapter, the previous chapter. We are doing legislature, and further we will be doing judiciary. So today we are doing reading about legislature, and legislature is we can say a very closely related to parliament, as parliament is the only place whose first objective and the first purpose or the function is to frame laws. So it's here. What is the function of legislature in relation to parliament? We can say parliament is the place where the laws are framed. So the functions of legislature: do both the houses of parliament have the similar functions? Which are the two houses of parliament? I'm sure you must be knowing it now, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So both the houses, do they have the same functions and power? This is a question to you put before this topic. Is there a difference in the power of the two houses? If they are not same, if there are differences, so what are those differences? And we are going to do in this particular topic. And basically, what are the functions of legislature, or we can also say what are the functions and powers of parliament. So apart from law making, we have already studied it. Most of the things we have already done in this chapter as well as in executive. So it would be very much easy for you to understand this topic, as we relevance to this topic we have already done in executive as well as in legislature, first two parts. So apart from law making, the parliament is engaged in many other functions. Okay, as I told you, this is a main function of the parliament, law making. But it does not mean that parliament is only limited to only law making, but it has many other functions to play. Okay, let us list the functions of parliament. So here we will list what are the functions of parliament. This is parliament. It is having president, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. All these three constitute parliament, and government is also one of the important part of Lok Sabha. Okay, so here. And what are the first function? Let's see. The first function is legislative function. What is the legislative function of parliament? So the parliament enacts legislations for the country. It means in the parliament is the only place where the laws are made for the country and for the people and for the welfare of our country or society. Despite being the chief lawmaking body, so we can say this parliament is the chief lawmaking body, still the parliament often merely approves legislature. Why? In the previous chapter also we have read that the actual task of drafting the bill is performed by the bureaucracy. If I talk about the drafting of the bill or bringing out new plans, policies, how they have to be executive, all this work is done by the bureaucracy, or they are the permanent executive, which we have done in the previous chapter, executive properly, and we have taken this topic separately, bureaucracy. So all the drafting work of the bill is done by the bureaucracy now, although we would say that it is the responsibility of the legislature to frame laws, and later on these are executed by the executive branch or the organ. But if we see it practically, now the bureaucrats have the responsibility to draft the bills properly, as they are the trained and skilled government employees. So it is done by them, but under the supervision of the ministers concerned, and these ministers are council of ministers or cabinet ministers. Okay, so the substance and even the timing of the bill are decided by the, so what will be the substance, what will be the things in the bill, or how it will be drafted, it is all decided by the cabinet now. No major bill is introduced in the parliament without the approval of the cabinet. No bill or no drafting of the bill can be approved or can be introduced in the parliament in any house, Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, without the approval of the cabinet. So here executive branch, that forms a cabinet or the council of ministers, plays an important role for introducing any bill in the parliament. So members other than ministers can also introduce bill, but these have to chance of being passed without support of the government. Although other than cabinet ministers or council of ministers, any member who is a member of parliament, MP, he's a MP, he can introduce any bill in the parliament, but there is no surety that it will be passed, as it is very important to have the support of government for any bill to be introduced in the parliament. Okay, so this was the first function of the parliament, and where executive is playing the important role. Now control of executive and ensuring its accountability. Accountability means what are council of ministers or our bureaucracy are making laws, or they are framing various policies, plans for the welfare of the society, but they are accountable, they are answerable to the people. And who are the people? People have elected their own representatives, who are the member of parliament. So here executive is accountable to the legislature. Perhaps the most vital function of parliament is to ensure, so it is one of the most important function of the parliament. It is a platform where executive is accountable and answerable to legislature, is to ensure that the executive does not overlap. And it is one of the important function of parliament where parliament sees to it that executive does not overstep or misuse its authority and power, and also executive remains responsible to the people who have elected them. Okay, so we shall discuss this function in this chapter further also, how executives are accountable to the people and what is the important role of parliament in ensuring that executive is answerable to the people, all those people who have elected them in the general election. Okay, now coming to the next and third important function of parliament is financial function. First was, you can see here, legislative function. Second was control of executive, where executive is accountable to the people. And the third important is financial function. What is the financial function of parliament? So here government is about spending a lot of money on various matters. There are various developmental activities, programs going on for the welfare of the state. So it is government is about spending a lot of money on various matters. Where does this money come from? Where does this money for the development work of the government comes from? So this is a question to you. So here every government raises resources through taxation. So every government needs money for its functioning, for its developmental activities, plans and policies which they have to put forward for the welfare of the state. For that they need money, and from where these government raise money, it comes from taxation. We pay tax for different taxes, different sorts of taxes. Different people are authorized to pay some sort of tax. So through those tax, government gets money for the development or welfare of the state. However, so what is the role of the parliament here in the financial matters of the government? So however, in a democracy like our country, it's a democratic country, legislature controls taxation. It's one and the same thing. If I talk about legislature, it means I am talking about parliament. Here legislature controls taxation and the way in which money is to be used by the government. So here the whole control of on the money or the finance is of the legislature, and it approves the money to the government and also suggests that how this money is to be used. It means the government is accountable to the legislature for different plans, policies, and where they are going to spend the money. In the government, if the government of India proposes to introduce any new tax, if a government decides, okay, we are going to start a new tax, it has to get approval from the Lok Sabha. It's not the monopoly of the government. They can start any new tax from the people of our country. If they have to introduce any new tax, it has to be approved by the Lok Sabha. Okay, as I told you, it is one of the important part of parliament. The financial power of the parliament involves grant of resources to the government. So if we can say the financial power, if I talk about the financial power of the parliament, so parliament has such a big financial power that it involves the grant of resources to the government to implement its program. So whatever programs government want to implement, for that all the finance has to be approved by the parliament. The government has to give an account of the legislature about the money it has spent. Also it has to show all the accounts and details of the money which government had spent on the various programs and resource. The legislature also ensures that the government does not misspend and overspend. It is also the responsibility and power of the parliament or legislature to see to it that government does not misspend or misuse the financial or the money of the people that has come from the tax. This is done through the budget at annual. So in the case there is a process of budget and annual financial statement and annual budget, where government shows all the expenditure which it is going to have throughout the year. So in this, the parliament plays the most important role in the finance of a government. Like you can see in this diagram also, these are the ministers. The parliament is the boss. Here this is the boss, like a parliament here. And the ministers are looking very humble here. That is the effect of the parliament's power to sanction money to the different ministers. It is the power of the parliament that sanctions money to the different ministers or the government for the various plans to be put up by the government. So it is the responsibility and power of the parliament to sanction money or for various programs to the government or to the ministers. Another important functions of parliament is representation. As you know, parliament represents divergent views of members from different regional, social, economic, religious groups of different parts of the country. As membership or the elections are held in such a way, there are various reservations given so that the people from the different societies, different social backgrounds, different religions, different culture, all have the representation in the parliament through Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. So that is why it's written parliament represent divergent. So we get the divergent different views of all the people around our country in terms of the social, political or economic growth of our country. And this is, you know very well this point, debating function. Parliament is a forum where a lot of debates take place. That is why it's written debating function. So what is the debating function of the parliament? Here the parliament is the highest forum of debate in the country. In our country, this is a place where debates take place between the ruling parties or the opposition parties, or we can say about Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, president. So there is no limitation on its power to discuss. Members are free to speak. All the members are free to speak on any matters without any fear. They can speak whatever they feel correct for the society. Next is here constituent function. What is the constituent function? Here, as you know very well, the parliament has the power to discuss and enact changes in the constitution. If there are any amendments in the constitution, those all are discussed and debates in the parliament. The constituent power of both the houses are similar. That is the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha both have the same power. All constitutional amendments have to be approved by the special majority of both the houses. So all the constitutional amendments which are approved by the special majority of the both the houses. Okay. Now electoral functions. In the elections or electing of various people, like the parliament also performs some electoral functions. It elects the president and vice president of India. We have done in the previous chapter that in the parliament how there is election held for the post for president and vice president. And there is also one judicial function of our parliament, that is judicial function of the parliament includes considering proposals for the removal of president. If they can propose if they want to remove any president, it is the power of the parliament for the proposals, or vice president, and also can remove judges of high court as well as supreme court. So these are some of the important functions of Parliament of India. Okay. So next important topic which we are starting now, after the powers and functions of the parliament, now we have the powers of Rajya Sabha. But not only Rajya Sabha, we shall also be discussing here Lok Sabha. Okay. So we discussed about the functions that are performed by the parliament in general. Okay, we discussed all the powers and functions of the parliament. However, in a bicameral legislature, but we are having a bicameral legislature, that is we are having two houses, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, as you know it very well now. There is some difference between the powers of two houses, but these two houses does not have the same powers and functions. There is some difference between the powers and functions of these two houses, and through this chart we will differentiate, also show the difference of power and functions between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Okay, so it's written here. Look at the chart showing the powers of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So I am starting here with Lok Sabha first. So what are the powers of Lok Sabha? Okay, and as you very well know, these are the parts of parliament. So we have done the functions of parliament. So now we are doing the functions of Lok Sabha. Makes laws on matters included in the union list. This is union list. As you know, there are three type of lists if we talk about the functions which are to be performed by the central government, state government, or the local government. So there is three lists are. One list is union list. Under this there are all those functions which are to be carried out by the central government. And there is a state list. Those are the functions which are undertaken by the state government. And there is a concurrent list. Under this there are the functions in which both union list as well as union, that is the central, as well as government, state government can make decisions or laws. So this is common concurrent list. So but here the function and power of the Lok Sabha can make laws introduced in union list and concurrent list. Okay, so the functions are coming under union list as well as concurrent list that can be undertaken by the Lok Sabha. Can introduce and enact money and non-money bill. In Lok Sabha we can introduce both money and non-money bills. Both type of bills can be introduced in Lok Sabha. Approves proposal for taxation, as we have done earlier when I was talking currently about the powers and functions of parliament. I told you that parliament approves proposal for taxation, budgets, and annual financial statement. This is all the functions and powers of Lok Sabha, where the government gives the budget or annual financial statements or about the tax of the country. Controls the executive by asking questions, supplementary questions, resolutions, motions and through no confidence motion. So as I told you, executive is accountable to judiciary. I'm telling judiciary, legislature. So here executive is always accountable to the people, as people have elected these representatives of executive. So executive is always accountable to these people and legislature. Amend the constitution. So this is also one of the important power of the Lok Sabha, where Lok Sabha can amend the constitution. A bill can be introduced here for the amendment of a constitution for any provision. Approves the promulgation of the emergency. In the situation of emergency, Lok Sabha plays an important role. Lok Sabha also elects president and vice president and removes judges of Supreme Court and High Court. Okay, there are many things common. If I was talking about functions of Parliament, I am here talking about the powers of the Lok Sabha. Some things are very common because these are the parts of Parliament itself. Okay, so it also take part in the election of or electing a president or vice president. Establishing committees and commissions. It also establishes various committees or commissions and considers their reports. So in any matters where there is a requirement to set a commission to look into the matter, this Lok Sabha has the power to set a particular committee or commission. Now talking about the powers of Rajya Sabha. Considers and approves non-money bill. Considers and approves non-money bill. It means money bill cannot be introduced in Rajya Sabha. Only those bills which are not related to money can be introduced in Rajya Sabha. But once those money bills are passed from Lok Sabha to Rajya Sabha has to accept it. It's written here, considers, has to approve it. Non-money bills and suggests amendments to money bill. Approves constitutional amendments. Okay, whatever the constitutional amendments which are put forward by the Lok Sabha, it is approved or it approved by the Rajya Sabha as well. Exercise control of the executive by asking questions, introducing motion. Is same one and the same thing here also. Executive is accountable to Rajya Sabha also. Participates in the election and removal. This is all the same function of the Lok Sabha. Here same. Here executive also plays an important role in control over executing many questions, introducing motions and resolutions. Here participates in elections and removal of president, vice president, judges of Supreme Court, High Court. It can alone initiate the procedure of removal of the vice president. It's one and the same thing here also. Lok Sabha had the control and power in the election of I told you about president and vice president. But here Lok Sabha, it participates in the election and removal of the president, vice president. But here one thing is different is that Rajya Sabha can alone initiate the procedure of removing vice president. If Lok Sabha has to remove the vice president, Lok Sabha can do this procedure. Can give the Union Parliament power to make laws on matters included in the state list. Okay, so it is as I know, you know that Rajya Sabha, all the members are elected from state legislative assemblies. Okay, so here whatever the matters which were under the state list, but here some point of time union or center government feels that now this function of the state list should be transferred to the union list or the concurrent list. So here it is important to take the approval of the Rajya Sabha. So here Rajya Sabha plays important role if any function of state list has to be transferred to union list. Okay, so these are some of the functions and powers of Rajya Sabha. So with this we come to the end of this particular topic. I hope you must have understood it. In next topic we shall be taking in the next part. Till then, thank you.